Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OC Varsity Gridiron Show. Welcome to the 2025 high school football season. It is good to be back with my partner, Steve Fryer. It's good to be back with all of you, of our followers on this YouTube channel and our coverage at the Orange County Register and OC Varsity. Thanks for making us part of your day today as we preview the season opener. Steve, how you feeling about 2025?
Well, looks like a great season. So many good players and great things to keep track of this year. Some teams that are looking to repeat, some teams that are going to be rising up. Some great players. The quarterback position in Orange County just looks tremendous for one thing. Great linemen all over the place, and receivers, keepers. I think we got it all again, Dan.
Yeah, we are blessed. Are you ready to kick my butt in the prediction business, and then you'll share all, you'll remind everybody if we were at the state tournament covering basketball in Sacramento, you'll remind some of the media members how you destroyed me in the fall in the picks. Are you ready for all that again, Steve?
I don't think I'm that harsh, but I may needle you a little bit.
Maybe you're not harsh, and I was just being a little sensitive that you were reminding some of our colleagues how you beat me in all these picks in the fall.
Yeah, well, I got to have something to brag about because I don't have much else.
Hey, and that's the spirit of it all. As it's fun. We're as you like to say, we're putting out some bulletin board material, and
Sure.
it's part of the fun about high school sports is
Yeah.
talking about these games, getting excited about them, and we appreciate everybody for chiming in as I take another beating, perhaps from
No.
Mr. Fryer. But hey, I've worked hard to try to get some a few different games to cover. Little scope of Orange County, a little bit of an overview, especially for really some interesting games for week 0. Going to start off on Thursday, Steve. This is the oldest rivalry in Orange County high school football is Anaheim and Fullerton. Dates back, these teams first played in 1900, believe it or not. 1900. The Colonists won 2-0. This is and they're playing for the first time since 2013. So pretty cool that these guys are playing Thursday night at Glover. That's Fullerton and Anaheim. And some interesting storylines is that Fullerton's coming off an 0-10 season. They made a great hire in the offseason with former OC Coach of the Year Pete Caravias, and he is from Sunny Hills. And then they're renewing this rivalry, and not only that, you have Anaheim under Gus Martinez, who's a former coach at Fullerton. He is taking up the Colonists from the Tango League to play a team higher from the Lambda League in higher rated in Fullerton. Who do you got in this one?
Fullerton. Dan Albano, you picked this as your team to be the most
Yes.
improved or one of the most improved in Orange County football. They went 0-10 last year.
Yeah.
We know how good Pete is. Sunny Hills, he did wonderful things over there. So and if you look at some of the items about Fullerton football, really good lower levels last year. Pretty
Yes,
good,
right.
pretty strong foundation there. So I got Fullerton to win this game. Boy, Anaheim last year, 10-3, semifinals, Division 13 with Gus Martinez running that group. Man, nice job, Gus. But I go with Fullerton. And by the way, that 2-0 game in 1900, man, I remember covering that game, Dan, and I was asking one of the coaches after the game. I said, why don't you guys never throw a pass or something like that? And I'd forgotten that the forward pass hadn't been invented yet. So that's why it was a 2-0 game. But anyway, I'm going with Fullerton on this one.
Man, I would love to know what kind of technology you used to file that game story back then.
Chisel and a stone tablet. It's
Man,
great.
changed a little bit there as we.
I missed deadline, but hey.
The Register kept you around though for all these years, so they must have liked that effort of that story.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, speaking of all county matchups, you always like when two Orange County teams play in an opener. That's pretty cool. I think that's a nice way to set the. There's different ways to set the stage for the season, but it's always nice when you have two county teams playing. I like covering county teams playing to start out. How about this one on Friday night, Steve? San Clemente at Tustin. So this is, speaking of leagues, you got San Clemente from the toughest public school league in Orange County, the Alpha League. Tritons looked very good in the summer. They won the St. John Bosco passing tournament. And then you got Tustin, who's kind of stepping up in competition. They're from the Delta League, a couple notches below, right?
Yeah.
As far as the ratings. And they have a bunch of guys that I really liked for the Hot 150, really high. I think they have an outstanding junior class. Guys like John Ione, Khalil Terry, Tavion Epps. Can't forget about Jeremiah Williams.
Yep.
They got a lot. They got there's a lot of those guys are couple linemen, couple linebacker safety type guys. Got a quarterback in Aiden Edwards that's improving. He's going to be a sophomore. Played a lot as a freshman, so I think he's going to have a leap. They got some new look receivers at Tustin, but San Clemente kind of flying under the radar. Don't know who the Tritons quarterback's going to be. They rotated some guys during the summer. Another interesting development with San Clemente too, Steve, is you have Jaime Ortiz. The head coach has got a new assistant coach of some note, in Matt Poston. So right there you have two just guys that were outstanding D coordinators back before their rise as head coaches. Two of the better ones you'd find in all of Orange County. Now you have those two guys on the same staff. That's a lot of coaching power that I do think is going to cause Tustin a lot of trouble, I think, in the passing game. I think the Triton secondary is under the radar. They proved that at the Bosco tournament. But that's 7 on. We're talking about linemen, etc. Who do you got in this game?
Tustin. I just think there's too many athletes there. Again, you just don't know about, who's going to be, how good everyone's going to be. It's the first game. How do you all coalesce? And you were saying great things there about San Clemente and, the great coaching they got there and tradition at San Clemente. And you and I both seen them win games they didn't think they were going to win, right? Viejo a 3 years ago, whatever it was. But Tustin, I think they just got too many athletes, too much team speed, especially on the defensive side of the football with Khalil Terry back there and Epps and all those guys. Too much speed, too much athleticism. Tustin wins. And I'll be at that game. I'm looking forward to it.
That's right. That is a great game. This was a really hard game for me to pick. I've been wrong many times picking against the Tritons in recent years.
Me
On
too.
the Gridiron show. But they're coming from the Alpha League, knowing what they have in the coaching tradition, some of their underrated players and how they performed during the summer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Tritons.
Good.
So I think we differ on that one right out of the gate. So I think that's going to be a fabulous game. For some reason, I have a feeling that San Clemente is going to be all right in a close game. Tritons lost their opener last year against a team that we're going to talk about right now, and that's Chaparral. So Chaparral coming into Orange County to take on San Juan Hills in another fabulous opener, right? Chaparral, number 18 in the state by Max Preps, and San Juan Hills, I think they're 21, 22 in the state by Max Preps. So two top 25 teams in the state hooking up. Chaparral, Steve, has got an outstanding junior class. If you look on the 24/7 recruiting class that would be class of 2027 guys. They have like 9 players listed as, top recruits, including their quarterback who's back from last year, and that's Dane Weber. But speaking of quarterbacks, you got to go with Timmy. You got to remember about Timmy Herr at San Juan Hills. I had him. I think I shocked some people, which I like to do. Had Timmy Herr, San Juan Hills senior quarterback, number 6 on the Hot 150. That's how high I am on him as a high school football player. And San Juan Hills looked really good in the summer. And I know they let Elijah Ayala as a running back. They got some really good linemen. But but apparently Chaparral's got some transfers, and they got quite a few linemen as well. So this is gonna be a really good game. Who do you got in this one, Steve?
Yeah, Chaparral has loaded up on the transfers. They got a guy named Asher Bancroft who moved in from Uriah Mesa. He's committed to Fresno State. And they've got a bunch of pretty good dudes over there, too. A good running back, Trevor Schneider. Again, a junior like you were talking about, Dan. And that Weber kid's a dual threat quarterback for Chaparral. Yeah. Gosh, people said Timmy Hurt was too high at 6.
I
Is that what
think
you heard?
so. I think some people were surprised that I
Yeah,
had him that high.
man, the guy's going to be a 3-year starter, or kid's a winner. Yeah, guy's pretty good, and he's got good linemen. Cooper Jaworski, what UCLA guy, right?
Play. Yep.
Offensive lineman. So, man, this is a tough game, but with so many new guys there with Chaparral, takes a while to get. Sometimes takes a while for all those guys to get together. San Juan Hills, those cats have been playing together for a while. Luke Fritz is a really good receiver.
Yeah.
Y'all, the running back. Man, I think those guys got together, and San Juan Hills plays pretty darn good at home, so I'm going with the Stallions with San Juan Hills.
Okay, we agree for a lot of those same reasons that you laid out. I think interesting enough about this matchup, like I said, last year in the opener, Chaparral edged San Clemente 17-16 in overtime. Really good game. And then Chaparral, they end up playing in the playoffs in the first round of Division Two. They lost a pretty close game to Yorba Linda, which is from the Bravo League, same as San Juan Hills. They lost to a Bravo League team. So there's some crossover comparison. Chaparral had a tough time with Mission Viejo last year, but Diablos were obviously dynamite last year, Division One team. So, but I think Chaparral is definitely on the rise. This is going to be a great opener. So, love to see that these teams are still. Some OC teams are scheduling Chaparral because they bring a lot. To the equation for these great openers. All right, I'm going to skip to Saturday, Steve, because I'm going to leave our game of the week for the grand finale. So Saturday, I'm going to take us to Florida. For the first time in school history, Mater Dei is going to be playing in Florida, taking on St. Thomas Aquinas. So you got this Florida powerhouse, reigning state champions from the Sunshine State, taking on California state champion, reigning champions, Mater Dei national reigning champions. So pretty interesting trip for the Monarchs, and they're going to be in a new environment. This game by the way, will be live on ESPN at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. But a new environment for the Monarchs, who have a relatively new coach at their school in Raul Laura, though
Yeah.
he is a very veteran coach with a lot of proven track record. But new environment, somewhat new coach at Mater Dei in Coach Laura. Going to have a new starting quarterback. They're definitely going to have a new starting quarterback. Could it be the Jay Sarah transfer? We'll see about that. You're going to have, the return of Chris Henry Jr. From his injury, the Ohio State committed. Some new things to watch with Mater Dei. But interesting enough, I saw that Aquinas, Steve, was ranked number 4 in the state right now, and in Florida by the Palm Beach Post. So they're not the number 1 team in their state like Mater Dei is. So who do you got on this one, Steve?
I go with Mater Dei on this one. I think Ryan Hopkins gets to start, right? The kid's really good. He's super fast. He's a smart guy, throws it well. I don't know if Ferreira, I think if I pronounce that right.
Furion.
Yeah, he's played super good during the summertime when he had the opportunity to get the ball and make things happen during spring as well, from what I've been told. But I like Mater Dei all around. And when you talk about guys, there's a guy who makes magical catches over there, Caden Dixon Wyatt over at Mater Dei. I love that guy, man. Mater Dei seems the last 5 or 7 years have some guy who's doing the one-hand catch thing in the end zone, and so many good. Chris Henry's great and all that, but I'm a big Caden Dixon Wyatt dude.
Yes,
I think that guy is something else, and the line play is great with Tomo Tapui going to SC. Guy's got great footwork, really good thrower too, discus, shot put guy. So his feet, you do those things, man. Your footwork's got to be pretty good. So he's a solid dude, and I think they're all around. They're really good. Thomas Aquinas has got this really good cornerback, Justice Fitzpatrick. He's committed to Georgia. St. Thomas Aquinas, national rankings. Max Prepson's got him 10, Mater Dei 1, Bosco 2, etc. But I think Mater Dei goes out there. Maybe they come up to a little bit of a slow start, gets together, and wins, maybe winning going away.
Okay, I'm also picking the Monarchs to do well. So we'll see how they do. I'm interested to see, how they all put it together. See how that secondary looks and how the linebacker looks and some of that back end of the defense. So,
Yeah.
but exciting opportunity for the Monarchs on the national stage. California versus Florida, you can never go wrong with that. All right, so Steve, I'm going to go back to Friday. This game, the game of the week, in my opinion. I'm sure you agree. Friday, August 22nd, is going to be at Trabuco Hills. You got Mission Viejo taking on Santa Margarita. So these are a couple South County rivals, and one of the huge, bonuses for this game. It's the coaching debut at Santa Margarita of Carson Palmer, the former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback out of USC. He's an alumnus of Santa Margarita, as all the OC football fans know. Former NFL All-Pro quarterback, making his debut, trying to bring some of that hard work and tradition, you know, uh, to the program, kind of try to stabilize it as a successful alum and parent at the school. And then you on the flip side, you have Mission Viejo has their own quarterback guru in Chad Johnson, who's got another one right now, and Luke Fahey, number one player in OC in the Hot 150, committed to Ohio State. Diablos kind of won the summer with how they dominated on the passing circuit. And some late breaking news today as we record this show. Pretty huge developments transfer wise, lineman wise for Santa Margarita. Checked the section website, and I saw that at least three key linemen had been cleared eligible to play for Santa Margarita. And I know some fans have been watching that. And the guys that we saw cleared was Nicholson, who's a transfer from J. Sarah, committed to Arizona State. He's a left tackle. Manoa Faupusa is a two-way guy from St. Ignatius. He was cleared. He's committed to Arizona. Very physical guy. And then also Isaiah Vandermeide, the son of offensive coordinator Lenny Vandermeide, former modern day USC player. He's been cleared. So there's some other guys out there that still got to wait for, but that's a huge development that we didn't know. These are guys that got cleared today as we're recording our show on Tuesday, August 19th. So this is huge development. Those guys are going to really make an impact in this game. Who do you got in this South County rivalry game, Steve?
Mission Viejo. And I went back and forth, doing the top 25,
Yeah.
modern day number one. Okay. Mission Viejo, Santa Margarita, Mission Viejo for number two.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Mission Viejo. I went to one of their practices, and it's just like this quiet confidence going on out there. Not a bunch of, but just, steady. Just the whole thing felt kind of steady. You know what I mean? And so, and Luke Fahey, you have him as your number one player in that wonderful Hot 150 thing that you must have worked on for half a year. Fantastic compilation of stuff. I love that. And then, JD Hill's he's a disruptive pass rushing guy. Van Spafford has had an illness. Really couldn't practice full throttle. That was a couple weeks ago. He's an important guy. One of the best receivers in the county, right there with Mosley over at Margarita, who is a touchdown making machine. Mosley's a first down making machine. I think he's the most dangerous football player in Orange County. But I think overall with Mission Viejo, with everything they've got going, I've got Mission Viejo the edge in this game, Dan.
Okay. I'm, with this information, and if it trends this way, and Samote is cleared as well, the defensive end committed USC for Santa Margarita, who's a transfer from J. Sarah, and another guy or two. For me, that's the tipping point. If Santa Margarita has those linemen, those two-way linemen, to go along with all they have back at linebacker and then secondary, that's obviously Trace Johnson is going to have to come in and get the ball to both Mosley brothers, but Santa Margarita's gonna have to establish the ground game. But I'm gonna pick Santa Margarita that these guys are eligible, and I'm if and that's how significant I think it was. If it wasn't for these clearances today, I'd be picking Mission Viejo. So I think it's going to be a much closer game than last year when the Diablos kind of ran away in the second half for the win. But that's a great game. And by the way, for football fans out there, I'm going to be covering this game. We'll have lots of coverage on OC Varsity about it, but it's also going to be the national game of the week on Max Preps. That is, free, and they are streaming games this season, and that's something to check out and be excited about. I've heard some good things about the production of those games. So there you have it, Steve. A couple of disagreements right out of the stretch.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. And I can always say that you picked wrong, but I don't know. Just trying to cover myself here. But yeah, these are great games. Salute to everybody for taking on these big challenges this week. Some of these, Margarita doesn't have to play Michville. Michville could probably find somebody else to play, but they're playing each other.
Yeah.
And, that's very gutsy for everybody on all sides. And, Monterey taking the trip, Fullerton-Anaheim keeping that thing alive. Chaparral-San Juan Hills, that's no easy game for either one of those two dudes. And Tustin San Clemente, that's a war zone game too. So, a big salute to everybody for putting these games together for your entertainment and mine, Dan.
That's right. And all the football fans. And this is what, keeps you working harder in the summer, all
Yeah.
those, work in the weight room, all that individual training, your team training, grinding through lineman competitions and passing. And this is what gets you excited. You've been working all summer to get to these Friday night lights. And so I think it's a great thing that these, you can get ready for leagues. As we know, the leagues are much tougher now where they're all by the power rankings, no easy games in league. And all these teams, don't they know it? So
Yep.
for Steve Fryer, I'm Dan Albano. And thanks again for joining us. Join us all year long on the OC Varsity Gridiron Show.